Hello, I am Marsha Ziegler and I am the founder and CEO of Breath of Life Inspirations. Breath of Life Inspirations has been purposed to awaken Christians that are in a 9 to 5 slumber. A 9 to 5 slumber is when Christians only go to work, home, church, and they really don't do anything else. They're not utilizing their God-given talents and gifts to advance the kingdom of God. They are aware that they should be doing something on a higher level, but they aren't really sure what their calling is. At Breath of Life Inspirations, first we remind you that God has called us all to tell the world about Him. The second thing, we encourage you to seek out what your God-given talents are. Third, we direct Christians to connect with your Creator, to recognize and identify what your passions and purpose are. At this point of the journey, the Christian will have the realization that they are called to draw others to the kingdom of God. And they will recognize how their God-given gifts, talents, and passions are tied into their divine purpose. We are all called to grow God's kingdom, but how you will grow His kingdom is where your gifts, your talents, and your unique passions will lead you to your purpose. So the first step that I recommend is that you complete the best survey I've ever taken that helps you recognize your spiritual gifts. It's free and it's on a website called churchgrowth.org. So take your spiritual gift survey there. Next, there's a video that I watched about recognizing your God-given purpose and passions. And that video is by a Christian entrepreneur named Stephanie Rotness. I'll put the link to both of those on this page. After you understand what your talents and gifts are, you will then recognize what your passion and purpose is. Right? That's when you would need to connect with your Creator to pull everything together. Because again, you're supposed to grow the kingdom of God, but how? And will you grow the kingdom of God on a full-time basis, part-time basis? Will it be for profit or non-profit? Those are all things that after you complete step 1, step 2, and connect with God, that's when it will all come together for you. So I'll tell you a little bit about my journey. So I was the same. I was just go to work, go home. Really feel like I didn't have time to do anything else. But I did recognize that something was missing. I'm like kind of on that rat race, the little wheel, and you're just kind of doing the same thing over and over. Like I know there's something else I should be doing. You probably can feel that too. There's something else you should be doing. Right? Something additional. Something towards the kingdom of God. Well, after watching the Passion and Purpose video, and then after taking the survey, well, I recognized with the survey that my top 3 spiritual gifts is administration, prophecy, and mercy showing. So I was thinking, well, what do I do with that? How do I use that to advance the kingdom of God? A clearer plan. I didn't know. So from there, that is when God led me to Stephanie Rotness' video. She has specific questions on there that really makes you think, and you sit down and you start putting it all together. And once you realize, wow, these certain things keeps coming up, it helps you clearly see what your passions are. At that point, that's when you connect with God and it all comes together for you to understand the big picture of what you should be doing for the kingdom of God. So after putting all that together, I recognize that I am supposed to encourage people to connect with their Creator. I encourage you to connect with your Creator. This is where He's going to guide you and make things clear for you. But I specifically help people travel the world that God has created. So I am a travel business owner. I help people travel for less, and I help people earn income from travel. So if you need additional income, I can help you with that. And if you want to travel, I can help book that too. So I can help you start your travel business and I can help you book travels. After that, I recognize that one of my passions is writing literature. I write Christian literature, Christian books, inspirational books. And then the third thing is that I actually create Christian merchandise. So I'm going to show you the books and the merchandise in a moment. But after connecting with my Creator, I realized that my purpose is to awaken Christians. Your purpose is probably going to tie into things that you were doing and that you had going on. So with me, I've had so many things I've turned away and say, no, I don't want to do that. I already have a full-time job. I don't want to do anything else. After I leave work, I want to go straight home. I don't want to do nothing else. Well, that's tying the hands of what God has for me. The things that He wants to pour out of you, because you're secluding yourself because the 9 to 5 is taking all of your energy. But God can help you, but you just have to seek those things out. Okay? So I then recognize that I'm supposed to awaken Christians. Awaken. Wake up. Realize God has so much more for you than to just work and go home like that. There's so many other things you should be doing, and it actually benefits you and the kingdom of God. Okay? So from there, I remind people to use their talents, to use their gifts, to use their passions. Even if you're still working full-time and you do it on a part-time basis, fit it in somewhere. Again, I encourage people to connect with their Creator. I help them seek to understand their gifts and their talents. I help them recognize what their passions and purpose is by guiding them to those materials. Please understand that all of this works together for the kingdom of God. Imagine seeing a room full of Christians, and they all are either part-time or full-time doing things that are their God-given passions, things that make them excited. This is things that they love to do, but they're able to do it towards growing God's kingdom and pulling it in, and it's all centered around God's kingdom. So again, I mentioned the way that I help you. One of my passions is with travel. Another one is the Christian literature that I write. And the last one is the Christian merchandise that I create. Thank you for watching. I hope that you start your journey of learning what God has purposed you to do for the kingdom of God. Before I Let Go is a poetry book, and Better Days is a inspirational book. Both are available for purchase on Amazon. However, once you visit my website, www.breathoflifeinspirations.com, then you'll see a link that tells you how you can earn a free vacation from my travel business just for purchasing one of the books. Next, as you heard me mention several times, my slogan is connect with your Creator. So I do have merchandise. There's coffee mugs, there's cell phone cases, there's children's shirts, toddlers, baby shirts, kid shirts. There are women and men shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, kid hoodies. There's pillows, there's pants, and so much more. This is also on my website, www.breathoflifeinspirations.com. And also, once you're on the website, it'll show you how you can receive a free vacation giveaway again from my travel business just for purchasing at least one item. Thank you for watching.